Hello, this is Linda Vettrus-Nichols, and do I have an amazing person to introduce you to? Rochelle Trow. Welcome, Rochelle.
Thank you, Linda. I'm delighted to be here. So
Wonderful,
excited to talk to you.
wonderful to have you. All right, it's all about you. Well, that sounds kind of narcissistic. What does that mean?
I know, but we can go with the flow, can't we?
You betcha. So, what was life like for you, Rochelle?
Well, where do I start?
All right.
Firstly, I think what's exciting to know is that I am one of 10 children,
There you go.
and
That's good.
I'm the baby.
Okay.
When I was came into this world, I had four other siblings who were all under the age of 5. So my poor mother, you can imagine, life was not easy for her.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that is important to me is I came into this world and probably didn't have the greatest of starts, not because my mother intended it to be not great, but because circumstances. She had all these little kids,
Yeah.
but she didn't have the space or capacity to give us the love that a baby deserved. Not for any fault of hers, but for the fact that she was a good Catholic woman who had all these children. So I say this with a gift because I think my start has given me the gift of who I've become. It shaped a lot of the way I lived most of my life, but
Mhm.
that's the transformation journey that I'm going to share with you because ultimately my start in this world started with me being fed, cleaned, put back in a cot, never
Right.
getting the love, the cuddles, the hugs that a baby needs and the safety. And
Yeah.
without my mother knowing I had a milk reaction, I had a reaction to the milk. So I used to lay in my cot and scream with frustration. And my sisters told me I used to scratch my face until it was bleeding. But that was because I had this milk allergy, which they only discovered later. And so you can imagine as a kid, I used to cry and scream. Nobody understood it. They said I was a crazy baby screaming, but
Right.
actually, it was the reaction. My body was reacting.
To the
Long story
milk.
short, my start was one where I self-soothed. I sucked my thumb until I probably was about 16 years old. And I developed this independence, this real rigor of I can only do this on my own. And the only way to attract attention is to perform, to deliver, to add value. And
Wow.
that shaped much of my life.
Yeah. And you were raised in South Africa
In
during
South Africa during the apartheid era. So, another interesting fact about me. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, and in the South African context, which is the past, I am mixed. I have a Xhosa grandmother. I have a British white grandfather, who's my father's parents. Then on my
Okay.
mother's side, I have an Indian grandfather and a mixed race grandmother. So I'm the true Rainbow Nation.
I
And
love
if you
it.
look at my siblings, we don't all look the same. There's some similar features, but in terms of skin tone, we're quite different.
Oh, that's interesting
So
too.
that's another interesting factor about me.
Yeah, I love it. And the change canvas, what does that mean for you? That I know that's your business and your logo. What does that mean for you?
The change canvas was actually born as I was writing my book, Awakening to Wholeness.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
literally flowed out of me because as I was writing, I started to describe a vision of what I see in my future. And in my future, I see myself going back to just the essence of life, living out in nature. Which country, where that is, I have zero clue. But my vision was I saw myself living out in nature. I saw myself having this very humble beginnings, a very humble home where I could welcome people to come into this space to reignite the passion inside of them. I saw it as uh, the change canvas as in life, we go through life, living our life, shaped by all the expectations society has on us, what we see as what is deemed as successful, the expectations, this I certainly learned to serve rather than live my life. And I became a serve wife, a serve mother. So all these things shape us.
Yeah,
And so the change canvas, what it means for me is that we cannot allow someone to paint our canvas. We own the brush. We own the colors on the canvas. So the reason why I established the business, The Change Canvas, is because not only do I want to create the space and environment for where people can come and learn and grow together, but I want people to come and paint their canvas of life, not allow other people to shade the colors of their canvas, but to take their own lived experience because I
yeah,
believe everything is within us. Pull
yeah.
out the ingredients from the depth of your soul and paint your canvas in the colors that you want. There's no perfect canvas.
That's what I love about you. You are so organic. It's just so much fun. My husband Terry and I have been in like high-end coaching, and it's like so fakey and like doing things, to trick people into whatever and ego. There was no room for ego. I will guarantee you that one, and that was what the best thing that we got out of it. But still, when it comes to people buying or whatever, they're definitely preying, if you will, on the ego, and I can't stand that. I love it when
Yeah,
people are
I,
just who they
I
are.
know ego well. I lived there for a while because I thought that was what was expected of me. But
Yeah,
I can tell you now, ego is the last thing on my mind. And
yeah. You've been in the corporate
I've walked
world.
away from clients who are big ego and not willing to dig deep. And I'm like, well, it's not going to work because I can't talk to an ego. Of course, I'm happy.
Nope.
And obviously, these are not
I
the
always
words
say,
I use, but ultimately, we're not connecting. And
yeah,
I can't promise you that you're going to have change because I can
yeah,
see you're not going to change.
I
But
know,
of course, I don't share this in the words that I'm using. I do it in a much more subtle way for the person
yeah,
to realize we're not a match. Or
right?
and I use a plaster. I say, I feel like what I'm doing is putting a plaster on a gaping wound.
Wow.
I want to be of service to you and I want this relationship to add value. And I feel like I'm simply sticking the plaster
Ooh, that is
and it's
such
not going to work. So, unless you're willing for me to go into the wound with you and kind of clean it out a bit,
forget
doesn't feel
about
like synergy.
it. I always say egos hate me.
I know. It's so funny. My dear friend Nicole says people don't like us because of that.
And I always say, your ego needs a publisher. I don't. This has been
So
so
good.
great. Thank you so much, Rochelle. I just love getting to know you better.